I expected to have a robot butler by now, but instead I've had to settle for my virtual assistant Alexa listening into my each and every word and then serving me up the appropriate ads online. We'll get to the physical robo-helpers one day though, eventually, I hope. Anyway, today I'm comparing 3 books that have robot characters in them. Those are In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune, Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, and A Closed and Common Orbit, also by Becky Chambers. I'll then have to decide which one to display or put on my hypothetical bookshelf, which one to disparage or talk badly about, and which one to discard. Which one am I going to just toss in the trash because I don't want it? Warning, this video may contain some spoilers. So first up, if I'm going to talk smack about any 3 of these books, which all 3 of them I really enjoyed, I'm going to throw Psalm for the Wild Built under the Robo bus. The quick overview of this one is that a monk named Dex gets tired of what they're currently doing and decides to change gigs and wander around serving people tea while lending them a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen to them. But something's still missing for Dex. So Dex sets off into the wilderness where they meet a sentient robot named Mosscap, who is kind of from humanity's distant past when humanity had dealings with robots. Both of these characters have passions that they're pursuing as they try to fully understand themselves. Self-discovery, right? But they're also not really able to wrap their heads around the other character. They can't really put themselves in the other character's shoes. It's a fun dynamic that lets us see both of them from different perspectives. And the setting and the history of the book, of the world, is top-notch too. However, if I have to complain about something, and I do because that's what this video is about, at least this section is about, I'm not a big fan of low-stakes, cozy fantasy or sci-fi reads. I don't really need a book to make me feel like I should be curled up under a blanket next to a roaring fire or something. If that's your dream, if that's the book that you like, awesome, great. But because of the cozy vibes of this book, the book was just kind of ho-hum to me. It was boring. Like I said, the world and the characters are cute and interesting, but not nearly as good as some of Chambers' other works. It winds up being underwhelming, honestly, and it's definitely a book you could fall asleep to while you're holding it. I could see that happening. And for me, that's not a good thing, in my opinion, because I am anti-nap party. No naps. They're a waste of time. Next up, I'm going to chat about which book I want to discard. And I love both of the remaining 2 books. I really did. But if I'm going to toss one of the 2 of them in the hypothetical trash can, I'm going to discard In the Lives of Puppets. So this book is set in a world where robots are bent on destroying humanity. They just want to wipe out every and all humans. And there's a boy named Vic, who's kind of the last boy in the world. And he's friends with this trio of robot android friends. And they go on a quest to rescue Vic's android father from the robot's capital city. And some of the back and forth, particularly between Vic and some of his robot friends, it's just laugh out loud funny. It's hilarious. I mean, I would watch a sitcom of these characters just chatting back and forth because it's so witty, so clever, so fun. And while the dialogue shines, there's a lot of introspection too. As the only human left in the world, Vic, as well as the robots he's hanging out with, they're thinking a lot about what it means to be human, what does it mean to have a soul and exercise free will and love someone or something else. All these different emotions are going inside them, and what does that mean for a human? What does that mean for a robot? So why am I getting rid of it and not ranking it above the other robo book? Well, this was really a book sandwich for me. It has its best moments at the beginning and at the end of the book. And 2 out of 3 sections ain't bad, but the middle of this book drags. It's really weak and boring compared to the other parts, even though the middle is where we see Vic set off on this quest to get his dad back. It just didn't quite work for me, a little too slow, a little too boring. And that's what sets the final book apart in this category of books with robot characters. It's consistently interesting with high caliber characters, both human and robot, which is why I'm choosing to display, to put on my hypothetical bookshelf, A Closed and Common Orbit. It's the only one I would choose. If I had to choose one of these 3, it's the best. And it's actually book number 2 in the Wayfarer series, but it follows a different thread from the initial book, the first book in the series, and it digs into a couple of the side characters from the initial book, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And there's a past and a present framing in this book where we follow the tale of Sidra, and Sidra is the second iteration of this AI robot character called Lovelace in the first book, who basically reboots and has this brand new personality, conscious identity that she's trying to figure out. And she's taken in and being helped out by Pepper, who's this genius engineer who helps Sidra learn kind of the ins and outs of her new human body, because now this robot is in kind of a human-looking body, and she's also helping Sidra pass herself off as flesh and blood, because if anybody realizes that there's this AI robot inside this human, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. But the second and best part of the book is when it dives into Pepper's backstory. And it's this heartbreaking, unput-downable read as Pepper grows from a girl into a woman in this lonely, harsh environment. And I won't say anything more than that. I want to avoid ruining it for other people, but it's this really touching story about humanity and survival, and there's also a little bit of robots in there as well. And what's also great is that honestly you don't need to read the first book in the series to pick this one up and fully understand it, fully enjoy it. And that's why I recommend it, again, above the other two books that I talked about. There you have it, my thoughts on 3 good books with robots in them. Let me know in the comments if there are any other reads with machine characters that you'd recommend. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy reading.